what is procrastination? So I suppose we have to define our terms initially. So procrastination, the psychological textbook definition, is that it's putting off until later what our better judgment tells us we should do now. So at its essence, really, it's about avoidance, but it's about avoiding immediate discomfort. And so we tend to avoid that immediate discomfort by doing other tasks. So in my instance, I'll tend to clean. I'll often watch Netflix or YouTube in order to avoid doing those things I should be doing. And this is what differentiates it a bit from laziness. So when we're lazy, we tend to want to do nothing at all, or at least do less of something. But when we procrastinate, we tend to procrastinate by doing another task, by doing something else. And this is an important difference. And I'll get to this a little bit later. So why care? Well, I came up with this material when I was trying to get my master's thesis done a couple of years ago. And I was having some health issues, so my motivation levels were quite low. And I found that I was procrastinating a lot early in the day, most of the morning, and maybe some of the early afternoon. And obviously, I suppose the first thing with procrastination is it makes us less productive. So I suppose the longer it takes us to start those important tasks, the longer it takes to get them done. But I suppose an offset of this is that we've less time to do those things that we want to do. So what I found is that I was working all morning, or I was procrastinating all morning and afternoon, and then I would end up working into the evening and night in order to make up for it. And so when we procrastinate, really what we're doing is a lot of the time is we're taking time away from those things that we want to do. A second kind of less obvious issue with procrastination is that it means that we get less enjoyment from what I call the tools of procrastination. So this is where I suppose it kind of ruins those things that we would normally enjoy that we would use to procrastinate. So for example, what I want you to do, I want you to imagine watching an episode of your favorite Netflix show. Personally, at the minute, I'm watching Money Heist. And I want you to imagine watching an episode of that show, and you're watching it as a reward for having done something that you've been meaning to do for quite a while. So maybe it's cleaning out that spare bathroom that's a bit disgusting, or maybe sending your tax returns, something you've been putting off. So how do you think you'd feel? You're watching that episode as a reward. How might you feel watching that episode as a reward for having done something you've been meaning to do for quite a while? So generally, we would feel contentment and satisfaction. So I want you to imagine watching that exact same episode or that exact same show, but this time we're watching it in order to avoid doing that very same task. How might you think you might feel? Agitated, yeah. Tense, yeah. Guilty. Guilty is one that comes up a lot with this. Not fully taking it in, you're slightly distracted. And that's exactly it. So when we procrastinate, we always have got that task sitting up there on our shoulder behind us, almost like nagging into our ear. And it's one of the things I really hate about procrastination. Okay.